guys, welcome to another video by Techarinos Coding. Today we're going to be going over a new topic, which is the advanced math operators. So I'm over here in the game lab. If you don't know how to get there, you can watch one of our last videos which will show you how to get there. So in the last video we talked about these math operators. In this video we're going to be talking about the more complex math operators, which are these ones. So to get started, we'll talk about the math.round. We'll come back to the random number later. We'll talk about math.round. So what that basically is whenever you have a decimal or a fraction, it will round it to it will basically round that number. So we can go over here in the variables and get to console.log, and then we can do math.round. Create a variable here. Let's just call it 2.75. Now this should round over to 3, but I haven't entered the value here, so just go ahead and enter the value, and it is rounding over 3. So as you can see, that's basically the math at round, and let's do it with a fraction, which do divide by 2. Run it, so we're getting 2 because 3 over 2 is equal to 1 1/2, and when you round that you get 2. So that's basically the first math operator, and then we have math.abs in parentheses x. So this is the absolute value. It will take the absolute value of whatever is in this parameter. So if we go ahead and delete this block over here, and we can just enter in -7, and then enter in x here, and we should be able to run that. So we are getting 7 because that is the absolute value of it, that operator over here. So that one was pretty simple, and then we're going to be going over the next one, which is math.max and math.min. So for this function you have to have more than one variable. So let's first take that out, and let's do math.max first. So what this basically does is it takes the maximum value out of all inputs. So we have -7, and then we can go ahead and get another variable here, and let's just make it 5. So this is obviously the same name. It won't work because we're basically redefining the same thing twice, so there's only going to be one variable. Let's just call this y, and then over here we can do x comma y, and let's run that. So we have 5, since that is the maximum value out of the two inputs, which is 5 and -7. It will log that in the console, and then we can go ahead and do math.min. Same concept, except it's going to be getting the minimum value of the inputs. Yeah, so we have -7. And then here comes the more confusing one, which is math.random. Now this is, you may be thinking, why is there 2 of the same things? Well, math.random is only getting a number which has a decimal property. I'm not sure exactly how many numbers after the decimal point, but it is from 0 to 1. So let's go ahead and do math.random, and then these 2 won't be used in this part. So yeah, so as you can see over here in the console, we have 0.14 and then the random numbers, and then we have 0.26. So you may be thinking, ooh, it's really hard to understand. Well, this is just proof that it is rounding between 0 and 1. What we can do is we can go take that out. We can use our math.round, math.random, and run it. So it's just inputting 0, 1, 0, 1. And then that takes us back to the random number. So this, you can enter in your own values, where it'll pick a random number. So we'll just use the default 1 and 10, run that, and these are only giving whole numbers, by the way. So it'll be running whatever random number you have, and you can use that in a different variety of games. So most of these, we probably won't be using these. Maybe random number will be pretty common, but the other functions, we probably won't be using that, other than random number and math.round. Then let's get into our next one, which is math.pow. So this will take x to the power of y. So I will have an image on screen here, what power is. Then we can do math.pow, or let's just take this out first, math.power. And these are all found in the math tool part of the toolbox, by the way, if you're wondering. Math.pow, and let's do 5 to the power of 2. Now if you don't know what power is, it's basically multiplying this number over here this many times. So 5 multiplied twice, so 5 times 5 would be equal to 25. So let's run that right there, and we have 25. So instead of entering in your own values, we could do x and y, and it will run that same thing. So now you may be wondering why it's running multiple times. So that's because it's in the draw function, as explained previously. So we'll be getting in how to only get one of these later on in a different video. And then our next math function here is math.squirt. So that is the square root. So we could do, so the way to enter this is the square root of x. So we could take a, let's just say 9. As we know, that is 3. So yeah, so it's returning the square root value of these functions. So yeah, so that's the more complex math operators in code.org. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share these videos to make a better impact.